All right, lads, gather round. Today we're diving into a scandal about fancy brands like Nike, Louis Vuitton, Prada, Balenciaga, Paul Smith and Gucci, Victoria's Secret, your makeup kits, not out of this equation. So literally, this is that kind of video your luxury brand don't want you to watch, because you will soon be knowing someone has been doing drop shipping of drips at fraction. Americans are being charged exorbitant prices for products that cost peanuts to make. We're about to peel back the layers and see what's really going on. Buckle up, grab a cuppa, and get ready for a wild ride.
Never reveal your real identity.
This isn't just about handbags and trainers. We're talking about everything from iPhones to home appliances. Imagine a bag made for 50 quid in China, sold for thousands in the West. Those iPhones? They cost a fraction of the retail price to produce. We're being sold a lie, paying for an illusion of luxury. It's time to break free and demand transparency. We deserve better.
I'm really crying over my nails right now because they're so ugly. Oh my god, okay. This is what I wanted, okay? This is the pastels, and this is what I got.
China isn't just about cheap knockoffs. Big brands contract Chinese factories to keep production costs down. These factories are state-of-the-art, producing high-quality goods. The problem is the deception, selling us a narrative of luxury. It's time we called them out on it.
Her name is Luna Sourcing China. If y'all want to know where they get all this shit from, go to Luna Sourcing China on TikTok, okay? She is airing everybody's shit out. Lululemon, Gucci, Prada. You want to know where to get the shit from? She is telling y'all, if y'all are not buying y'all shit half price, wholesale from China, and stop going to these fucking American stores because it's the same goddamn thing, I don't know what to tell you. And I put this on my other page. But I found out Gucci get they same shit made the same place that DH Gate get they shit from. It's just the label y'all paying for. They may mess with the label a little bit at DH Gate, but it's still Gucci.
Let's talk numbers. A handbag costing $5 to make can sell for thousands. Trainers made of cheap materials are sold for hundreds. We're paying for the name, not the product. We're being fleeced, and it's time to wake up.
Why don't you wear designer stuff?
Oh, because designer companies just repackage Chinese goods and charge 1,000% more.
But you're a millionaire. Surely you want better quality stuff.
Oh, give me a break. Prada charge over $1,000 for a handbag, and you can get exactly the same bag for $50 from the factory.
So why are they so expensive?
Because they're not selling the item. They're selling self-worth to people that don't have any.
Donald Trump first brought this scandal to light. As a businessman, he sourced products from China to cut costs. He exposed the true cost of manufacturing. Big brands exploit cheap labor to boost profits. Trump's revelations showed the hypocrisy of luxury brands.
I'm really crying over my nails right now because they're so ugly. Oh my god, okay. This is what I wanted, okay? This is the pastels, and this is what I got.
The leather in luxury goods often comes from Nigeria, not Europe. Brands spin tales of European craftsmanship while importing cheap leather. They buy cheap and sell at a premium. It's like selling a Ford Fiesta with a Ferrari badge. It's misleading and dishonest. Kano has a proud history of leatherwork. Luxury brands buy high-quality hides cheaply from Nigeria. They transform them into luxury goods in their factories. We're buying into a carefully constructed illusion. It's a classic bait and switch. This deception keeps prices high. Brands create an aura of exclusivity to justify exorbitant prices. They exploit our desire for luxury to line their pockets. We're bombarded with marketing that equates possessions with success. It's a raw deal for consumers.
Law 10. Never reveal your real identity.
We're often paying for a logo, not quality. Brands cultivate an image of luxury and exclusivity. We believe we need these products for happiness and success. But a logo is just a symbol, not a guarantee of quality. It's madness, and we're falling for it.
Nothing a Chinese factory can't make. Brooks Brothers, a premium shirt brand from the States, actually produce most of their products all in China. One of their largest suppliers is actually based in Guangdong in China. Interesting, the scale of the factories in this region specifically, they're not massive, but all of them are willing to invest heavily in research and development. For example, the world's first long-stable cotton gene sequencing product was completed here. Factories from this region are beloved by those world top brands like Tommy Hilfiger, Lacoste, Hugo Boss. Recent years, with the rise of emerging manufacturing countries like Vietnam and India, many might think that Guangdong's shirt industry might get impacted. But that's not the case, at least for now, because Guangdong's niche market is only for those middle to high-end markets like Europe and America. With its technological advantages, it will remain as a significant barrier. Alright guys, that's enough for today. If you're interested in more about manufacturer factories behind those big brands, leave your message.
The luxury goods industry thrives on planned obsolescence. They convince us to keep buying the latest versions. We're chasing after the next new thing, never satisfied. The environmental impact is ignored. We're being played for fools, consuming more than we need.
Chinese factories are exposing luxury brands.
Made in Italy or made in France. Welcome to the real world. Now you see, those bags are made in China.
China makes 80% of your designer bags.
Who's the Chinese supplier behind Under Armour? Shenzhou International.
Nike shoes from China to your country?
Who are the suppliers behind Salomon, Timberland, New Balance, Adidas, Nike, la 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 la? First, Baotong Factory.
It's not just calling them out, they're showing the world exactly where your $1,000 handbag or your $100 leggings are really being made. They're now offering you the same exact stuff, no middleman, no markup. In a bold move that seems more like economic warfare than manufacturing, Chinese workers are lifting the lid on $1 billion illusion. The bags, the shoes, the clothing that say made in Italy or designed in Paris, a huge chunk of them are actually being produced in China. And with Trump's new tariffs hammering Chinese exports, the factories are fighting back by selling directly to you online and calling out the whole hypocrisy. And on TikTok, it's gone viral. Factory workers and agents are filming inside production lines, showing piles of Louis Vuitton bags, Gucci purses, Lululemon leggings. Some say we make the same thing the brands sell, but for $20, not $2,000. Videos show labeled items sold from the same factory floor at a tenth of the price.
Lululemon sells this jacket for nearly $100, but here it only costs you $6 to $5.
The exact same item, just no label. In these videos, they're getting millions of views. And these aren't fakes. The bags and shoes being sold are real, or at least made in the exact same places with the exact same materials. Because luxury brands like Prada, Armani, and even Louis Vuitton outsource a ton of their manufacturing to China, and now we're learning this for real. They ship the parts to Italy, do the same little thing with the stitching, maybe slap on the label, and boom, made in Italy. It's legal, but it isn't honest. If you're just throwing a label on something and saying made in Italy, but the whole thing was actually made somewhere else, you're lying. One investigation recently found that Chinese-run factories were paying workers $2 an hour to assemble $1,800 Armani handbags. And they still got the made in Italy stamp. It's all smoke and mirrors. These TikTok exposés are cracking the illusion wide open. If your $2,000 purse is made by the same hands as a $50 duplicate, why pay 40 times more? It's not just China breaking the rules, it's the brands gaming the system.
The real cost of cheap exploitation, environmental damage, and the human price tag. Now you might be thinking, well John, old boy, what's the alternative? I like a good bargain as much as the next bloke, and I hear you. There's nothing wrong with wanting value for money, with seeking out a good deal, but we need to be mindful of the true cost of cheap, because more often than not, those rock-bottom prices come at a hidden cost, one that's often borne by the workers who make these products, the communities where they're manufactured, and the environment we all share. Those sweatshops in Bangladesh, the factories in China with appalling working conditions, those aren't just abstract concepts. They're the reality for millions of people around the world. They're the human face of our insatiable appetite for cheap goods, the hidden victims of our consumer culture. We turn a blind eye to their plight, to the exploitation they endure because we're so focused on getting the best possible deal. We tell ourselves it's not our problem, that we're not the ones responsible. But the truth is, every time we purchase a product, we're casting a vote. We're supporting a particular system, a particular way of doing business. And right now, that system is broken. It's a system that prioritizes profit over people, that values convenience over sustainability, that thrives on deception and exploitation. It's time we demand better. It's time we start asking questions, demanding transparency, and holding these corporations accountable for their actions. The great affordability illusion. Why can't we have nice things? Now, lads, let's talk about a dirty little secret, a conspiracy of sorts, that's been brewing right under our noses. It's a conspiracy of silence, of complicity, between big corporations and, dare I say it, our very own governments. You see, they've got us convinced that we can't afford nice things. They've created a system where quality and affordability are mutually exclusive, where we're forced to choose between breaking the bank and settling for shoddy goods. They tell us it's about free markets, about competition, but the reality is far more sinister. They've rigged the game in their favor, using regulations, tariffs, and good old-fashioned lobbying to stifle innovation and keep prices artificially high. They're terrified of a level playing field, of a world where consumers have access to high-quality, affordable products from around the globe. Because that, my friends, would disrupt the status quo. It would threaten their profit margins, their stranglehold on the market. It would empower consumers, give us the upper hand. And that's something they'll fight tooth and nail to prevent. They'll trot out economists, spin yarns about job losses, all to protect their own vested interests. But we're not fools. We see through their charade. We know that a world where quality and affordability go hand in hand is not only possible, it's desirable. It's a world where everyone benefits, where innovation thrives, and where consumers are treated with respect, not as cash cows to be milked dry.
Nowadays, a lot of good stuff is made in China. Everybody knows it, right? But somehow, in other places, things made in China end up costing more. I don't know why, I don't know who did it, but frankly speaking, it's a little messed up. That is why today I've come to the very source of Chinese production. Shenzhen, look at this. Look at this building, look at the streets, look at the vibe, look at the people. I love it, so powerful, so energetic, so clean. I love it so much. Where do you recommend me to go to make the most of my trip? Thank you.
Want to know who's the Chinese factory behind Nike, Adidas, Fila, and UGG? Number one, the biggest factory for Nike shoes in China is called FJF Group. They're located in China, Fujian. FJF is also China's biggest shoe factory. Second, the factory behind Adidas shoes is Baocheng Group in China. Baocheng Group has factories in China and in Southeast Asia. Number three, the factory behind UGG in China is called Henglong Group in Henan. Henglong Group is also the biggest factory of UGG shoes in the entire world. And number four, the factory behind Fila Group in China is called Shentai Group, and they're located in Zhejiang, China. Comment and let me know what other products I should do next, and follow me if you want to know more factories in China.
The case of the electric car, XPeng versus Tesla, a tale of two prices. Now, let's take a look at a prime example of this affordability illusion in action, the electric car market. On one hand, we have Tesla, the darling of Silicon Valley, the epitome of luxury and innovation. Their cars are sleek, stylish, and packed with cutting-edge technology, but they come at a price, a hefty one at that. A Tesla is an aspirational purchase, a status symbol for the eco-conscious elite. But then along comes XPeng, a Chinese automaker that's shaking things up. They're producing electric vehicles that are not only comparable in quality and performance to Tesla, but are also significantly more affordable. We're talking about a fraction of the price, lads. The XPeng P7, for example, boasts a range and performance comparable to the Tesla Model 3. Yet, it retails for almost half the price in China. Now, you'd think that this kind of competition would be welcomed with open arms, that it would drive down prices and make electric vehicles more accessible to the masses, but that's not quite how it's playing out. When XPeng decided to enter the Western market, they encountered a wall of resistance, a combination of tariffs, regulations, and good old-fashioned smear campaigns designed to protect the established players. The result? The XPeng P7, while significantly cheaper in China, ends up costing almost as much as a Tesla Model 3 when it reaches Western shores. The affordability advantage? Vanished. It's almost as if there's a concerted effort to keep these affordable, high-quality electric vehicles out of the hands of Western consumers. The high cost of living in a rigged system. This system keeps us trapped in debt and dependency. We're conditioned to chase the latest gadgets and fashion, living paycheck to paycheck, always wanting more. Corporations profit while we struggle. It's time we demand a fairer system, one that works for everyone, not just the elite. Right then, let's take a closer look at this electric car conundrum, shall we? It's a tale of two markets, of double standards, and of a system designed to keep us in the dark. In China, XPeng offers affordable, high-quality EVs. While in the West, we're stuck with overpriced luxury items. Chinese consumers enjoy the same features at a fraction of the cost. Meanwhile, Western markets limit selection and inflate prices. It's about maintaining exclusivity and control, not logistics, but control. Tesla is cheaper in China than in the US. It's about control, not logistics. Maintaining the illusion of scarcity justifies high prices. They want us to see EVs as a luxury, not a viable alternative. They fear affordable EVs disrupting the market. Protectionist measures stifle competition. Corporate greed trumps consumer choice and sustainability. Now, this protectionist approach might seem counterintuitive, wouldn't it? After all, shouldn't competition, even from foreign companies, be a good thing? Well, in a fair and free market, it certainly would be. Competition drives innovation, pushes companies to improve their products and lower their prices to stay ahead of the curve. But that's not the game they're playing, is it? They're not interested in a level playing field, in a race to the top, where consumers reap the benefits of innovation and affordability. No, they'd much rather operate in a protected market, shielded from competition, free to dictate prices and maintain their profit margins. They'll happily wave the flag of national pride, of protecting domestic industries, but it's all a smokescreen, lads, a way to justify their own self-serving actions. And the irony of it all is that by stifling competition, by protecting inefficient industries, they're actually hindering innovation. They're creating a climate of complacency where companies have no incentive to improve, to innovate, to offer consumers better, more affordable products. They're content to rest on their laurels, to milk the system for all it's worth, while consumers are left footing the bill. It's a classic case of short-sightedness, of prioritizing immediate gains over long-term sustainability. They're so focused on protecting their own turf, on maintaining their grip on power, that they're failing to see the bigger picture. So, what's the solution to this conundrum, this rigged game? Well, it starts with us, lads, with us consumers. We need to wake up, to educate ourselves, to see through the marketing hype and the carefully crafted illusions. We need to start demanding transparency, to ask the tough questions about where our products are coming from, how they're made, and how much they actually cost to produce. Don't be afraid to challenge the status quo, to call out hypocrisy and greed when you see it. Demand better from the companies you support, from the governments that claim to represent your interests. Vote with your wallets, support ethical and sustainable businesses, and make it clear that you're not willing to be taken for a ride any longer. Embrace affordability not as a compromise, but as a sign of intelligence, of savvy consumerism. Don't fall for the trap of equating price with value, of believing that you need to spend a fortune to own something of quality. There are plenty of fantastic, well-made products out there that won't break the bank. You just need to know where to look. And remember, lads, every time you make a purchase, you're casting a vote. You're supporting a particular company, a particular way of doing business. Choose wisely, choose ethically, and choose affordability. Because a world where quality and affordability go hand in hand, that's a world worth fighting for. So there you have it, lads. The truth behind the glossy facade, the man behind the curtain. We've been sold a lie, told that we need to pay exorbitant prices for the privilege of owning a certain brand, of sporting a particular logo. We've been conditioned to believe that quality and affordability are mutually exclusive, that we can't have nice things without breaking the bank. But it's time to break free from this cycle of deception, of debt and dependency. We've seen the evidence, heard the stories, and it's clear that something needs to change. We can't continue to line the pockets of greedy corporations and complicit governments while turning a blind eye to the exploitation, the environmental damage, the human cost of our insatiable appetite for more. It's time to demand better, to expect more from the companies we support, from the leaders we elect. We need to vote with our wallets to support businesses that prioritize ethical sourcing, fair labor practices, and environmental sustainability. We need to embrace affordability, not as a compromise, but as a sign of intelligence, of savvy consumerism. We need to spread the word, to educate ourselves and others about the true cost of our consumption. This isn't about boycotting luxury goods altogether, lads. It's about making informed choices, about demanding transparency, about holding those in power accountable for their actions. It's about creating a world where quality and affordability go hand in hand, where everyone benefits from innovation and progress. It's about taking back control, about reclaiming our power as consumers, as citizens, as human beings. It's time for an awakening, lads, the time